Hello, it's Miss Hague here. I'm going to do a portrait drawing tutorial for you this afternoon. I apologise for my setup. It is a pile of books, but I'm not sure how else to do it. So, I'm going to start today. You're going to need a piece of paper. If you're going to do shading on it, you're probably going to need thicker paper than copier paper. But you're going to need some A4 paper. You're going to need a pencil. You can use shading pencils, but I've just got a HB because that's probably what most of you have got. I'm going to have a rubber. I'm going to have a sharpener. I'm going to have some cotton buds. And I'm going to have some cotton wool to be able to do any skin that I want. Okay, so to start with, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to mark off on your piece of paper a top and a bottom to your face. So you work out how big you want your face to be. I'm roughly going to mark it out, and I would say that's probably about 22 centimetres, something like that. And then I'm going to put 2 marks on the other side to work out how big my face is, how wide my face is going to be. So it's slightly up from the middle. The middle's roughly about there. You can use a ruler. I'm not. I'm going to freestyle it. And I'm going to put a mark. I would say that is probably about... probably about 12 centimetres, maybe a bit less, not sure. And then I'm going to join these shapes together. I hope you can see this. I can't see my screen, so I'm not 100% sure, but we shall see. I'm going to join those with a light sketchy line so that I can, my books are in the way, so that I can rub it out later if it's wrong. I'm going to put a little bit more shape towards the bottom where the cheeks are, because I don't want my person to be a alien head, so they've got a very big head at the top and very small at the bottom. I can extend my chin out a little bit, so if you are looking at a person while you're doing this, the proportions will be the same, but obviously you can alter it to fit their face however you see fit. So the measurement from there to there, about halfway, you want a line through the middle, and you would like a line through the middle the other way. So that's roughly going to give you the quarters of the face for you to be able to work out where everything else goes. So we're going to start with the eyes, and we're going to mark out where the eyes are. So you can usually fit 5 eyes on a face, that's the rule. So we'll have the eye width, I would say, is going to go either side of the nose, and then you're going to put a mark roughly the same width as that on either side, and then I've got a slightly smaller measurement on that side. So it's that measurement divided by 5, and you can work it out in the middle. I'm going to put 2 V's facing each other sideways in the middle, so I know where my eyes are going to sit. And then I'm going to draw my eye shape. I'm only going to do one side though for you today, and it's kind of a squashed lemon shape. So it sits straight above that line you've just created and straight below that line, and it's as I say, a slightly squashed lemon shape. I can put in my tear duct, which makes this a little bit bigger here, and I'm going to put the little it's next to your nose. There's a little red ball in the corner of your eye. That's your tear duct. That's where your tears come from, and I'm just going to draw that in so I know where it is. I'm going to draw my iris, which is the coloured part of your eye, and it's going to go through the top. I'm going to imagine that it grows above there, but it doesn't. But let's imagine that it goes above it, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap at the bottom. The pupil is going to be slightly above centre, and that's the black bit of your eye, and I'm going to draw that in. I'm going to now put my light spot in my eye, which is the light bit. So you keep within the pupil a little bit of it light. You keep a little light area. It's not generally slap bang in the middle. It's either to the right or to the left, and it's on the same place on both eyes. So if I do it on the other eye, the tear duct goes in the centre next to where the nose will be, and my iris will be the same, and then the pupil will be slightly above, and my light spot will be on that side. I'm pressing on quite heavy because obviously I want you to be able to see this, so you don't need to press on quite as heavy. You can put the eyelid in, so I go up and over and down. I don't join it there or there, I'm just creating that shape so that I know roughly where my eyelids are going to sit. and then I'm going to shade the eye in. So when I shade the eye in, I start on the outside and I work towards the pupil. I shade dark on the outside and I get lighter when I do the centre line. So the dark side, the dark on the outside, I'm going to do a little bit of shading on the inside there, and then I'm going to do light going towards the pupil, fanning out all the way around. Obviously you can take a lot more time over it and you can focus on it a lot more and you can add more areas of dark and light, but that's the bit of your eye that would be colour if you were using colour pencils. You could use, say, a dark green on the outside and then a light green in the middle, and that would work just as well. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure I was recording then. So that's your eye shape. Obviously I would rub those out, so I don't need those guidelines in there anymore. Those were there just to help me. I don't need them anymore. I could then add my eyelashes, so I'm going upwards in an upward motion away from the tear duct, like so, and that would give me that. Your nose, if you want to do, sorry, you want to do the centre of the eye, you can put the water line in. That's that the bit where girls, you put your eyeliner on, that bit there, you can draw that in. Sorry, this is gurgling noises, that's my dishwasher living its best life, and I can put that on there. I would then, halfway between where you've drawn that line and the chin, that's where the nose is going to sit, so you can put yourself a little mark there. And then you want to try and create a shape that goes, it's kind of down and then up, and it's almost like two little seeds. Seeds, strange way of saying it, but it's like two little blobs. Those are your nostrils, so those can be dark. I then put two lines on either side. Not very big. This drawing's obviously only about 22 centimetres, so I would say those are about a centimetre. And then I can join up. I'm going to find this hard because I've got a pile of books in the way, but I can then go up the nose. As we've said previously, you might remember, a little bit like an elephant's foot. And it goes up. It goes up and above because your nose goes all the way up, and then your eyebrows will start probably about where your tear duct is. So I would just draw the shape of your eyebrow to start with. Goes up and over. Some of you will be better at drawing eyebrows than others because you've got a lot of practice. And some of you are going to have to draw yours on very well at the minute because we've got no beauticians. Hence why I'm not on camera. Nobody needs to see that monstrosity. And join it over. And then, oh, they're a bit unsymmetrical. Well, so am mine. So you then put the lines in. So I'm starting heavy at the base and then lifting my pencil up, and it will help you create a more naturalistic eyebrow. So those are your eyebrow shapes. When you come to applying any shade to this, you can put a small amount of shade around the outside of the nose, then use your cotton bud to bring it in, circular motions round the outside edge. Leave the middle because that's generally where the light will hit your face, depending on where your light source is. You can do it like that. Same on that side. Right then, your lips, those will sit halfway between where your nose is and where your chin is. You want to draw a line. That's roughly where your lips are going to be. Your lips are slightly above that line, but we'll go for that for now. And then the actual outside of your lip where it stops is on the inside of the iris on both sides. So if you want to draw a line down just to make sure you get it in the right place, you can do that. And that's roughly where my lips will stop. So I want the V shape of the inside of my lips, and then they're going to go out. So it's like a very long M that goes all the way across. In the middle, you don't want a completely straight line. It wants to go up and almost mirror. It's not mirroring, it's the opposite, but it wants to go, where it goes down, that one wants to go up. If you leave it flat, it looks very cartoonish, so you want it to have a little bit more movement in there. You are then going to draw the bottom, same way, but it does, obviously there's no movement there. It goes straight across and then back up to the other side, and then you're going to shade it in. So shading it in, I go up and down because, as I've said previously, you might remember, your lips when they split, if you've got cold or they're very dry, they don't split that way, they split downwards. So shade upwards and downwards. Your top lip's darker than your bottom lip because you've generally got a bit of shade from your nose. So you shade it lightly. I'm not doing a brilliant job of this, I've got to admit, but needs must. There's a strange noise because my cat's just decided it hates a bird that's outside, so I apologise for that. She's a fool. And you have to shade the top lip a little bit lighter. I'm going to go lighter in the middle, I think, and then I'll go a bit darker on the outside. But I would be tempted to shade that in, or rub it in with a cotton bud just to smooth it out, and then work back into it. Give it a little bit more depth so it doesn't look quite so flat. Your next thing, or you could also put the, I don't know what the official name for it is, Mr. Denham would know, but I don't, that little trough bit that goes down from your nose to your lip, put a little bit of shade in there, and then work that out. That looks a little bit strange, but it will work when the rest of the shading's in there. Like that. Obviously, if you're looking at a real person, then you would look at what their facial features are like and you'd add that to your drawing. Your ear is you start where the eye line is and it finishes where the bottom of your nose is. You go up and down, put the earlobe in. I tend to, I've not done a very nice line there, but I tend to do a little bit of a lump there. I'm not sure what that's called either. And tragus, no, I feel like I've just made that up. And then it goes round and in, and then there's a little bit of shade in there. Because obviously there's dark and light in your ear, depending on where the light catches, and depends where it goes. You can work into that with your cotton bud, you can put some darks and lights in there, you can kind of develop it out a little bit further. And then you can obviously do the other side, you can remove these lines with your rubber because you don't need them anymore. They were only there to guide you and help you. Now you've got them, you can take them all out. Obviously you know which lines you'd remove and which ones you keep in. And then you can apply more shade. So your shade can be done with the pencil on its side. I'm going to have to move my book a little bit because that's not going to look very nice. Shade it like that. And then you can work into it. Now I'm going to use these cotton buds because I can get a smoother line with them. That's probably going to knock the table, I apologise again. But you will end up with a smoother line. I can then go back in and work into things, make things a little bit neater, make things a little bit darker. If you've got dark shading pencils, you could do a 4B on there, you could use a 2B on there, give you a little bit more depth so that you've got a little bit more depth on your drawing. If you were going to put hair on there, you would start it probably about an inch down from the forehead, because obviously that's a very big forehead, so you would start it from there. Depending on if it's a boy or a girl, you would work out where your parting wants to be, and then your hair is higher than the top of your skull, so you would then draw on whatever hair style you are fancying, or whatever hairstyle the person's got. I'm going to put it behind their ears. Your neck generally comes in, I would say, it's where your mouth finishes. If you draw the line across, your neck starts there and it goes in and then goes out. So it goes in a little bit and goes out. If you do it too small like that, you'll end up with a lolly stick head, and obviously you don't want that. And then your shoulders go out all the way to the edge of your page. Don't bring your shoulders down too short, or again, they'll look a little bit like a lolly stick with a head on the top. And I think, everybody, that's enough for one day. Stay safe, look after yourselves. I'll think about what we can do next time, and we'll do something a little bit more watercolory, I think. Enjoy!